All right. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back. It was a very short-lived break. So if you were watching again, we now have a tornado warning for Ross County. So welcome back. If you were watching me before. So here we go again. A tornado warning has been issued here for portions of Ross County. So if you're in Ross County, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter, getting to the lowest level of your house, and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. As this tornado warning, here we go. Once again, it's not really a laughing matter, but wow, very short-lived break here. So here's what we got going on. I'm going to back this out just a little bit. I kind of got a double box going on for velocity, and we do have the base velocity and reflectivity here on radar, which is showing how hard it's raining. So we do have a tornado warning now that has been issued until 2 o'clock for central Ross County. So 1:29 here, the National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for central Ross County. Central Ross County, it's moving east now at 35 miles an hour. So it's kind of taking a northeast turn. It keeps working that way. So we're looking over here in Ross County. Again, this is now radar indicated. So that doesn't mean a tornado is happening. It means a tornado could occur with this storm cell. So kind of as quickly as it spins up, it's dying back down just a little bit. So let's kind of back up here to show you what's going on. When the warning was issued, we were watching here over South Salem. This is where the new, if you will, tornado was potentially generating just over South Salem, north of Fruitdale. And I'll pull this in here to one box, so give me 1 second so I can get a better view of it for you here. So we were looking right over Fruitdale as it continues to move off. It was kind of dead right here moving into Ross County, that particular area of rotation that we're looking at as it continues to move over here just south of South Salem. Got a little stronger, definitely a little stronger there. And then there is where they decided to pull the trigger for the tornado warning as we're seeing that rotation. Now, as I continue to advance this, if there's some good news about this, it looks like, again, that it has now died down. So that's a very good sign for us here as it continues to kind of do this cycling or pulsating, as we like to call it. So again, central Ross County. So if you're in central Ross County, you need to get to the lowest level of your house. This does include the city of Chillicothe. It definitely includes the major portion of Chillicothe. You can kind of see it there. It splits Chillicothe right down your screen. So if you're in Chillicothe, yes, you need to be in your tornado-safe shelters. Get to the lowest level of your house and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. So if you're in town, if you're in a town like Frankfort, Andersonville, Chillicothe, make sure that you're in your tornado-safe shelters. It's kind of past South Salem at this point. But if you're in those areas, Andersonville, you need to be in that tornado-safe shelter immediately, as this is a tornado warning that continues to go on until 2 o'clock. We'll have to wait and see what happens here over the next couple of minutes to see what they decide to do, as we've seen this storm obviously produce a tornado that was more than likely down in Highland County. So let's take a look here at a couple of things. I'm trying to keep up with some things here on the back side. Yes, tornado warning, still, yes, okay. So that's what's going on. It's moving kind of northeast, and I'll kind of let me put on the velocity here, reflectivity, I mean, to kind of show you what we got going on. So I'm going to back it up here just a little bit. You can kind of see here in South Salem, this is where we were looking at right here in South Salem when we were potentially seeing a tornado occurring. It happened right here. That's where we were looking at. So I'll back out just a little bit. Keep your eye on that area as we advance forward here. And the warning was issued at the next scan, and you can kind of see it pushing off here just a little bit. So we're still right here. Have a little bit of a donut hole there as we continue to move off. And it would be right about here just south of Frankfort at the moment. And again, south of Frankfort, we're still right here. And as we continue to move off here just south of Frankfort. So if there is some good signs, hopefully it stays north of Chillicothe. Nevertheless, if you're in Chillicothe, you are under the tornado warning, so you need to seek shelter and get to the lowest level of your house at this point. So if you're in Fayette County, the good news for you, it stayed south of your county. It took more of an easterly turn. It did not move northeast. It kind of took more of a nice due east turn over the last few minutes. So it stayed clear of your county over there in Fayette and Washington Courthouse. But Chillicothe, definitely you need to get to the lowest level of your house. So if you're just joining me, Nick Dunn is off tonight. Owen Fritz with you here out of northern Ohio, keeping you updated ahead of the storm. I pulled the late shift card all night tonight, so I'll be here joining you as this continues to push off through southern Ohio. So if you're watching us, hey, we're in southern Ohio. We're down near Chillicothe. We're just north of Chillicothe. I kind of zoom out. I know a lot of people are joining us from all over the state of Ohio because of the Ohio News and Weather page. So if you're seeing us here, we're in Chillicothe. We're south of Columbus, and we're kind of going to be down in the mid-Ohio Valley as this continues to push off. The good thing is, if there is a good thing, these storms seem to be cycling, and it's a little bit weaker as the trend continues here over the next few minutes. I wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe let this one go early as well, because we're not really seeing any rotation on radar at this point. We did see it, as I showed you just a few minutes ago. We did see the radar when it was issued. It was definitely a good radar indication, radar indicated tornado, I should say. As it moves off to the northeast, hey, it seems to be dying down once again. So the National Weather Service here, let's see, let's take a look here. All right. So the National Weather Service has elected to continue the tornado warning until 2 o'clock. They've just issued that. You're going to see the update probably come on your screen here in just a few moments. They have decided to continue the tornado warning until 2 o'clock. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located near North Folk Village, moving east at 45 miles an hour. So it's moving at a pretty decent clip, but it's moving at about 45 miles an hour. So again, if you're in Chillicothe, you need to be in that tornado safe shelter. A portion of your area was in the tornado warning. And the latest update, let's look. I think they just pulled it out. Yeah, they did. So Chillicothe, basically a majority of Chillicothe, just got trimmed out of the warning. So that's a good sign. They did just update that. So the polygon, this was the previous polygon. They just trimmed that back, and Chillicothe's now pretty much out of it. If you're in the northern portion of Chillicothe, yeah, you still need to be in your tornado safe shelter. But if you're in Andersonville, Frankfort, any one of those areas, Frankfort, time's up for you. You need to be in the lowest level of your house. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. So here's what we got going on. Straight from the National Weather Service, this is what they're saying here, straight from the person issuing the warnings. Partners, so we're looking at the rotation in Ross County has weakened once again to the point where we do not believe it is producing a tornado at this time. However, we are continuing the tornado warning for now to see if the storm recycles as it appears or as it has done, several times thus far tonight. So as a precautionary measure, kind of what they have done is they've elected to keep the tornado warning active and not drop the tornado warning because it continues to cycle. So if we look at base velocity, I'll kind of take you to the latest scan. What we're looking at is right in here. You can kind of see these darker pinkish colors. We'll say red. It's getting way too late for me. But darkish pinkish colors, if you will. And you can kind of see it here on radar. And this is the area that we would be focusing in on, right in this area. So right now it's a good sign that we're not seeing anything. And there's the latest scan. So it's a very good sign that we're not seeing any type of couplet right now or gate-to-gate shear. So again, the National Weather Service has kind of kept this here as a precautionary measure as it continues over the next couple of scans. They're waiting to see what happens. So if you're just joining us again, if you're in the area of Ross County, basically if you're in northwestern Ross County now, that's what we're calling this. The National Weather Service is saying that this severe thunderstorm is still capable of producing a tornado. And it's moving east at 45 miles an hour. So I know some of you are watching on our Mid-Ohio Valley page. I have kept this alive in the Mid-Ohio Valley page. I have elected to go live on that page out of a precautionary measure for those of you who live in the Mid-Ohio Valley, and if you're watching on that page, might be a little bit annoying, but as this approaches your area, we do want to make sure that you have a heads up on that page. So I know you're not quite in that, but I'm sorry on the audience on that page. I did elect to keep it going live on that page as well. So you have to kind of tune me out for now, but it is continuing to move off in your area. All right, so let's take a look at the latest scan. Here we go. And the latest scan you can see as I zoom in, you can kind of see that couplet trying to return once again. So if you've seen that, let's just back it up just 1 second. All right, so there we go, and here we are. There we go. It's starting to try to pulsate once again or try to cycle. Okay, so that's what we got going on. So if you're in this area, you need to be in a tornado-safe shelter. These are the type of things that we're talking about this tonight. So if you're in Frankfort, if you're in Andersonville, I know it's kind of past Frankfort depending on where you're at, but if you're in Andersonville, Your time's up. I know Clarksburg's just outside of this, but you need to be in that tornado safe shelter. If you're just north of Chillicothe, you need to be in that tornado safe shelter. The good thing is it looks like the city of Chillicothe, again, was pulled out of the warning on the latest update for the tornado warning. They trimmed you guys out of that, so that's a good sign. However, you need to make sure that you are weather aware here throughout the rest of Ross County. Give me 1 second here. I am continuing to look at some stuff here on the backside, trying to see if we got any confirmations. Chatting with another portion of my team that's helping me on the backside with some stuff. So give me 1 second. I haven't left you. Give me one quick second here. But we are watching this. And again, I kind of point to this, and I want to look at something else. I'm going to pull open something else we use as a spectrum width. Yeah, it's trying, okay? It really is trying again. We can kind of see the hook there that's trying to create, and it's cycling on your screen here right now. I got it on long duration. It's trying again, and it's trying. The interesting thing is it looks like it's trying here just out ahead of it. So let's double box this real quick so we can kind of get a good view of what's going on here. Let me go to a 2-panel and let you look at it. So here's where we're at, just outside here in this donut hole right here. That's where we're looking. So if anything tonight, these tornadoes would be considered rain-wrapped because there's going to be precipitation going on before it gets to you. So we are continuing to see possibly it being rain-wrapped. And I would definitely say it's probably rain-wrapped. You can kind of see these darker, if you look at the left side of your screen, you can definitely see these darker purple colors. This means, hey, you're seeing definitely something on radar, maybe some hail going on. But then as we zoom in, you kind of see it lighten up. That's the areas we're looking at. You can kind of correlate it from the right to the left, kind of playing meteorologist with me here tonight. But you can see it from the right and to the left there. And now the latest scan that you just seen, this is not necessarily a good sign. You're seeing a donut hole. So what you're looking at here is it's strengthening once again. The National Weather Service has said the storm in northern Ross County appears to be recycling and strengthening again. The tornado warning will continue with tight circulation that is now just east of Austin. So if you're just east of Austin, you need to be in your tornado safe shelter at this point. It looks like it's going to continue here off to the east-northeast just a little bit. And now we're saying radar confirmed tornado east of Austin in northern Ross County. So what's going to happen now on your screen, you're going to see this turn a different color. The warning will turn a different color, which means they have confirmed the tornado, and you'll see it turn a different color. They just updated it for us here, and they're saying here that it is confirmed at 1:45. The tornado is located 7 miles north of North Folk Village, moving east now, slowing down just a little bit, moving east-northeast at 35 miles an hour. So you're going to see this turn into a darker purple. And when you seen that screen update and I showed you that donut hole, that's exactly what they were looking at to confirm the tornado. So you're kind of seeing a backhanded look here, or backstage look, if you will, of what's going on. Now you've seen that it's turned this darker purplish color, pinkish color. That means it's now confirmed, and it's a now extremely dangerous situation that they believe a tornado is on the ground. And you can kind of see on your right side of your screen, this is like that debris ball tracker, if you will. This is now producing some debris that's being lofted into the atmosphere. So here we go once again. Let me back out here just a little bit. I'm going to flip some things around. So here we go. I'm going to zoom out here. So if you're just joining us, again, we're south of Columbus. We're north of Chillicothe. We are in Ross County. So we're outside of Dayton. We're heading toward the Mid-Ohio Valley right now. Let's see here. So what we got going on here is just outside of Andersonville. It's heading your way. It's heading your direction. I'm going to turn back the velocity. I know a lot of people don't like that, but it gives me a great idea of what's going on here with the actual storm. So just outside of Andersonville, right here, yeah, you need to be in that tornado-safe shelter. Again, get to the lowest level of your house and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. That's very, very important as you head into the next few minutes. So I know that a member of my team's working in the comments for you as well. And yes, get to the lowest level of your house and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Try to cover your neck and head. The important thing is, again, try to get to the lowest level of your house. If you're in a mobile home, you need to get out of the mobile home and you need to get to a tornado-safe shelter. Not sure what that looks like for you. Every situation is different, but you need to make sure you get into a tornado-safe shelter. Coming up again, the tornado warning, they have just reissued here. They're starting to reissue it every 3 minutes. So a tornado warning has just now been issued. Oop, there we go again. All right, so Pickaway County and Fairfield County, it's now been issued for you as well. They just issued a new tornado warning along with updating the old one. So if anybody's watching on the backside from my team, if you could update this video, I greatly appreciate it. So if you are in Pickaway County, Fairfield County now, or Ross County, portions of your county are now under a tornado warning. So probably you're going to hear the sirens. So if you're in Circleville, if you're just south of Circleville, this is encompassing portions of Circleville. So if you're just south of Circleville and maybe just to the west of Circleville, not sure if that's in the city limits, you're now under a tornado warning. So you need to make sure you get into that tornado-safe shelter immediately as you're now under a tornado warning. All right, so let me read the text here. Let's kind of catch up on what's going on. So Circleville, you're now kind of under the gun pretty much. They've issued this tornado warning well in advance of you, which is a good thing. But you need to make sure that you're in your tornado-safe shelter. So I'm going to read what we got going on here from the National Weather Service. They have issued a tornado warning for southwestern Fairfield County, southeastern Pickaway County, northeastern Ross County until 2:15. At 1:48, the National Weather Service is indicating a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Kingston, moving northeast at 60 miles an hour. So they got this clocking just a little bit faster here for this particular storm. Again, moving northeast at 60 miles an hour, radar-indicated rotation. The storm locations impacted include Circleville, Kingston, Logan, Elm Village, Amanda, Stoutsville, Tarleton, and Clearport, Pickaway County Airport, and Whistler. So again, if you are in this area, what we got going on, we have two situations going on. I'm going to zoom out here for you. We have a tornado warning. What you're seeing here in this darker purplish, pinkish box, this is a confirmed tornado that they suspect is on the ground. Then we have this red box, which is indicating a tornado warning that this storm is capable of producing a tornado. What they're doing is giving you, if you're ahead of this storm, what they have done for you is if you're in Pickaway County and you're in Fairfield County, they're giving you a great lead time right now. They're giving you plenty of notice because the storm is just getting ready to cross to this polygon still in Ross County. So that's a good thing for you out ahead of this. They're trying to give you as much lead time as possible because it continues to strengthen. So again, get to the lowest level of your house and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. I know I'm going to keep saying that over and over and over again, but it is vital that you get to the lowest levels, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. All right. So let's take a look here. Tornado warning has just been updated. You're going to see that here as well. I know one of our forecasters, Brant Warren, is in the Circleville area. He's taking shelter right now. That's a very good call. The good thing is here, again, they're giving everybody plenty of warning, especially if you're in Pickaway County and even Fairfield County. You're getting plenty of warning now that you need to take and get in your tornado-safe place. So let's see here. So what we got going on here, tornado warning is continuing. We've just updated that warning, and they're still saying that is observed. Excuse me. All right, so we back out here just a little bit, and I'm going to flip over to our base velocity to kind of show you what's going on near Andersonville. So the tornado is just going to be in the Andersonville area if there is one right now. If we back up a scan, this is where we're looking at, right here near Andersonville. And as it moves off here to Andersonville, you can see it lighten up. What this has historically done as it's continued to cycle. As I back up, you can see it cycling. So right now, it looks like it's in its cycling stage once again. The question becomes, will it cycle once again? And historically, it has been. So they went ahead and issued the tornado warning out ahead of this for Pickaway and Fairfield counties. for you. So this is going to be exiting, the storm cell is going to be exiting Ross County here in just a few minutes, and it's going to be more in the Pickaway County and the Fairfield County area. So plenty of lead time. So I'm going to kind of reiterate some things here just a little bit. If you're in Kingston, you need to get to the Tornado Safe Shelter. Your time is up. If you're in Stoutsville, Logan Elm Village, Circleville, Tarleton, time's up for you. You need to get in that Tornado Safe Shelter now. If you're in the town of Amanda up here in Fairfield County, you need to make sure you're in that Tornado Safe Shelter, as the severe thunderstorm is capable of producing a tornado. All right. Now, I know there's a lot of you watching, and I appreciate that, and I'm hoping you're adhering to that advice, especially if you're in any one of the warned areas. Please make sure that you're getting to shelter. Again, lowest level of your house, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, and cover your neck and head. That is the most important thing. If you're in a cell phone, if you're in a mobile home, make sure that you get out of the mobile home and get to a tornado-safe shelter. That can be a designated tornado-safe shelter in your mobile home park. That can be a sturdy building down the street. That could be something. Anything's better than a mobile home, especially in tornadoes, because obviously mobile homes can be picked up and sucked up pretty easily inside of tornadoes. So make sure that you continue to seek shelter in that particular situation if you're in a mobile home. We stress that a lot. We see a lot of people that get damaged, and a lot of deaths and fatalities occur in mobile homes, especially historically with tornadoes. So if we're looking here, we're kind of looking at the tornado warnings now, what we got going on. So I know some of you are watching in Ross County. So Chillicothe, you're in the clear. Frankfort, you're in the clear now. Andersonville, you're not in the clear. It's ongoing right now over top of you. You could kind of see this crossing into the other polygon, and it's getting ready to move into Fairfield County and Pickaway County right now. So pretty much Ross County is going to be in the all clear in just a minute. But again, Frankfort and Chillicothe, pretty much you're in the clear. If you're in northern Chillicothe, you're still under the tornado warning. But Chillicothe proper, you're out of the tornado warning at this point. All right. I'm continuing to gather some things here, and usually I have a team, but part of my team's on vacation, and then one of my team members is in his basement because he lives in Circleville. So I am trying to keep things going here for you as much as I can. I'm trying to read and look at comments and all that stuff. It's a one-man band here, so it's a little bit of a strenuous stretch, but we're here for you. And we'll continue to be here as this tornado warning continues, and we're going to get you through the storm here as this moves forward. All right. So let's take a little bit of a look here at base velocity. We haven't looked at this in a moment. So one of the good things, albeit one of the good things about this is if I back up just a little bit, we back up here, you know, we're kind of seeing, in Andersonville at that point, it was still probably there, definitely there on that scan. But as we move forward, what you're seeing is either it's occluded or it's done, as the National Weather Service puts it, or that it is cycling. And they pretty much felt that it was cycling. Why did they feel it was cycling? Because it's historically done this, especially back in Kentucky, and as it moves across to Ohio here, that's why they went ahead and issued the next tornado warning on your screen. So right now, the tornado warning pretty much is out of Ross County. I should say, I shouldn't say completely out of Ross County. It's out of the first polygon. The second polygon here, it continues to be for northeastern Ross County. That is continuing on here as it moves forward. All right, hang on one second. All right, so here's what we got. Ross County, and I got to confirm this. I believe the first warning was expired. I believe the second one's still ongoing. So Chillicothe, the good thing is for you, Chillicothe proper, you're in the clear now. And now with the latest expiration, Chillicothe, you're in the clear altogether. So what we got going on here, a tornado warning continues. Radar indicated tornado is ongoing until 2 a.m. That's what we got going on at the moment. So they're still keeping it at 2 o'clock. For this next tornado warning. Rotation is weakened in this storm that's exiting Ross County and entering Pickaway County. Since the storm has cycled several times and has the likelihood of producing another tornado along its path, they're going to continue the tornado warning for southeastern Pickaway County and southwest Fairfield County for now. So we're continuing to watch what's going on here. What's going on? They're going to have to either continue it on or not, and they just elected to do that. They're continuing on until 2:15. All right, so the tornado warning here that they've issued, again, the new one, I should say, issued till 2:15. So southwestern Fairfield County, southeastern Pickaway County, and even the northeastern Porter Ross County, you're still under that tornado warning, as you can see here on your screen, until 2:15 a.m. I'm waiting for the latest update on this. They have not updated this one at all, really. They've kind of let it slide, but they haven't updated us on this one. Besides what they've actually typed, which they're saying, hey, the storm is continuing to cycle, so that's why we're leaving it on right now. So again, if you're anywhere in this area, what we got going on, what you're seeing now is in red. So what we're seeing there, that means that it's a tornado possible, which means this severe thunderstorm could produce a tornado. It is not ongoing at the moment. You would have seen it in the darker purplish box that's going on. And it continues to cycle. So they continue to see this cycle up and down. That's why they elected to issue this tornado warning that you're currently seeing on your screen. They did that out of a precautionary measure to give people plenty of lead time ahead of this storm. Right now, they're not showing anything on the ground, but it could happen very rapidly. As we continue to look here near Kingston, this is where if a tornado were to be occurring, this is where it would be at. And let me back up here just a second. You kind of see it's weakened and it's fanned out, which is a great sign. But if it repulsates and recycles, we're going to be right here in the area of Kingston. So if you're in Kingston, again, get to the lowest level of your house and seek shelter immediately. If you're in a mobile home, get out of that mobile home. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. That's key. Many walls between you and the outside as possible. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying for protection. Again, many walls between you and the outside as possible. So here's what we got going on. Just kind of recap, reset everybody what's going on here. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. I know that there's a lot of people watching throughout the various pages, and we appreciate that. We are south of Columbus. We're in Pickaway County. We're north of Chillicothe. We're definitely east of Dayton. So if you're watching, we're in the center of the state. That way everybody can say, where are we at? Well, we're right here in the center of the state. Okay, so we got some geography going on here. We're in the center of the state. So as I zoom in here, we're live for this tornado warning that's in effect here for Pickaway County, Fairfield County, and the northeastern portion of Ross County until 2:15. So this storm is capable of producing a tornado, and it continues to produce some tornadoes along its path. We've kind of seen this historically as it moves on to the northeast. Looking at a couple other things, I'm going to click on something here called normalized rotation. I've been watching this as well. So this is another product that kind of looks, and we can kind of see where some rotation is ongoing. Now, if I back this way up to earlier, you could really see that tornado warning near Frankfort. That was earlier, okay? So don't stress out. That was earlier, okay? But as I continue to advance this into motion here, what this tells us at the moment, okay, this tells us here near Kingston, this is cycling. We're still seeing rotation in the upper portions of the atmosphere. So this very well could produce a tornado. So if you're right in the area of Kingston right now, yes, you could be seeing potential funnel clouds or maybe a tornado that's trying to come down to the ground. That's very plausible at the moment. And what we have seen here near Kingston, you can kind of see this now backwards hook kind of move to the backside of the storm. You can see this nice inflow notch here. And even coming from the east here, you can kind of see the inflow this way as well. That's kicking up this circulation. And if I put it in 2-panel mode, you can kind of see what's going on. Now this is looking at debris ball tracker, which isn't showing too much at the moment. If I flip this over into base velocity, you kind of see that 6 hook where I was talking about right here. And if we look over here, all right, you could kind of see this is where the tornado is trying to occur, just now north of Kingston. And it's getting some good inflow from the east, as we can see on this side of the screen. So that's what we're looking at as it moves north-northeast at this point. So again, if you're in this warning box, I would definitely seek shelter. I wouldn't take this lightly because from what we're seeing, it is cycling, and it could very, very, very well develop another tornado. And evidence of that is shown here if we look at something else called storm relative velocity. If I look at the right side of the screen, this is looking at, and we're seeing normalized rotation in the atmosphere, which means there is plenty of rotation that's still ongoing. So as this gets tighter and darker, this would indicate that there is a tornado on the ground. So what this tells us is when we see something like this, this means, yes, it's either cycling or it's trying to die down. Historically, and what we're seeing right now, we can start to see these darker blues inside of here. That means it's trying to come down yet again. Not saying it is down, but it is definitely capable of producing a tornado here as it moves forward. The tornado warning is continued, so right now they dropped Ross County out of that. So if you're in Ross County, you are in the all clear right now. They just updated that for us. And let me go back to one panel for you and flip some things around here so I can see some stuff on the other side. So the tornado warning is continuing on here for, let's see, let's look at the next update here. Tornado warning remains in effect until 2:15 for southwestern Fairfield and southeastern Pickaway counties. At 2:03, or current time, the National Weather Service Doppler radar is seeing a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado that's located near Kingston, as we've been talking about, moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. So, locations impacted. If you hear your location, you need to take shelter. Circleville, Logan Elm Village, Amanda, Stoutsville, Tarleton, Marion State Park, Clearport, Pickaway County Airport, and Whistler, you're all in the tornado warning. Okay, so you need to make sure that you're getting to the lowest level of your house and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. All right, so they have updated the warning. Ross County is no longer in the warning. Okay, so Ross County is completely clear of the warning now. It is only for Pickaway and Fairfield counties. All right, let's see what else do we got going on over here. So I'm continuing to look at several things that's coming into me on the backside that you can't see, and yeah, we're continuing to see that rotation still try to develop. And definitely wouldn't be surprised to see maybe another confirmed tornado if this continues. I'm going to flip over to something that I want to look at here real quick, albeit it is a little bit weaker now, but hey, it still has the capable of producing a tornado. And what we're seeing now on the velocity scan, so what we're seeing here is winds, okay? Winds here as we're looking at the red and the oranges, that means that it is inbound to the radar site. All right, so these darker oranges are indications that it's strengthening yet again. So here we go again with this potential tornado. So it is strengthening once again over top just north of Kingston. So again, this is your time to make sure that you seek shelter. Make sure you get to the lowest level of your house. If you're in Pickaway County or Fairfield County, especially in this corridor, not all of Pickaway County, but Circleville is included in this. You need to be in that tornado safe shelter. Tarleton, Amanda, you're next. And I would say moving in the direct line here of Tarleton, you're next with this. And when we look at this, we're looking right here north of Kingston. That's where we're potentially seeing the tornado. You've seen the latest scan just come in, and it weakened out once again. So it is cycling. It is trying to do, and it is trying to produce a tornado. It continues to cycle, and we continue to look at that. I'm going to flip through some things here, and as I look through the upper layers of the atmosphere, I'm looking up into the atmosphere. So I'm looking at the lowest level, and I keep tilting out. So I know it's a little flashing on your screen. I apologize for that. I just want to see how high we're getting. And it continues to show some rotation there in the upper layers of the atmosphere. So it is definitely trying. It is definitely trying to do some sort of trying to produce a tornado, I should say, with the rotation. All right. So we're kind of awaiting an update here from the National Weather Service. And I do want to kind of point out some things. I know a lot of people are watching, and we greatly appreciate that, and you're watching on multiple pages. And one of the things is, hey, we don't want you to be scared. We want you to be prepared. That's why we're here. That's why we do this. None of us get paid. We are all volunteer forecasters here on Ohio News and Weather and across the network. We do this because we want you to be prepared, and the whole goal is to save lives. So make sure that you're prepared, not scared. I know it's a scary situation for some, and anxiety really kicks in. But if you are prepared, you will be just fine, and we'll get you through this storm as it moves forward here. So as it moves to the northeast, Tarleton, Stoutsville, time's up. You need to be in your tornado safe shelter. The latest scans coming in, and you can kind of see that. And this is the area we would be looking at in this general vicinity. Tarleton, again, you're really under the gun, and even Stoutsville, you need to be in that tornado safe shelter. Again, getting to the lowest level of your house and putting as many walls between you and the outside as possible. That's very, very important here as it moves north-northeast at about 55 miles an hour. All right, so let me back up here just a little bit. We're out of Chillicothe, we're out of Ross County, we're in Pickaway and Fairfield counties now. So we're if it were continued, it would maybe reach Lancaster. I'm not 100% sold that it's going to at this particular moment. We're trying to see out ahead of this. There's one thing out ahead of this. We're trying to see if it has enough energy to sustain itself to reach some of these points. So if you're watching on the Mid-Ohio Valley page, again, heads up to you as well. That's why we're live on your page right now. So yeah, I'm looking here. Sorry, something caught my eye for Tiffin, Ohio. I'm very close to Tiffin, Ohio myself. No, nothing's going on there for Tiffin, Ohio. I'm actually located just north of Tiffin myself. In the Fremont area, so nothing's going on there for you as well, and I appreciate you checking in on for your son. So nothing's going on there in Tiffin. We had some stuff earlier, and we did have some storm damage earlier that we're going to have to survey tomorrow to find out if it was storm damage or tornado damage. That's something we'll have to look at tomorrow. But I'm sure the National Weather Service here in Wilmington is going to be busy tomorrow doing some damage surveys as well. So here we go, kind of looking out. We're kind of in a holding pattern right now because here's what we got going on. I just kind of reset this and give it to you as plain as day as we can. The evidence of a tornado on the ground at the moment, not likely. Can it happen at any second? Yes. What we're seeing is we're continuing to see this cycle through or pulsate, as I like to call it. And when that does happen, it could potentially produce a tornado. And one of the other telltale signs that we're seeing here, this is called normalized rotation. So we're looking at normalized rotation throughout the atmosphere, and this is definitely rotating. So it can produce a tornado at any given moment. So we're kind of waiting in a holding pattern to see if they're going to continue the tornado warning because it's set to expire in 5 minutes. Okay, either they're going to continue this or not. So that's kind of the question where we're at. Nevertheless, I would say if you're anywhere in the tornado warning, you need to seek shelter. Again, get down to that lowest level that you can. Protect your neck and head. That's very important. Get to the lowest level of your house and put as many walls as you can between you and the outside as possible. If you're in a mobile home, you need to exit that mobile home immediately. You need to find a tornado-safe shelter somewhere. That's important as it moves throughout here on it. We are currently asking the National Weather Service if they're going to extend this tornado warning. I think right now they're in decision mode right now. Yes, Chillicothe is fine. Chillicothe is in the clear. Ross County is totally in the clear. We're in Pickaway and Fairfield County now. So what we're seeing here throughout this storm is they're kind of making a decision because it continues to pulsate and it continues to cycle. Looking at SRV, which is another thing we can look at, storm relative velocity, looking at base velocity, all signs point to some heavy winds. We are seeing some heavy winds right here. All right, these are just north of 60 miles an hour radar indicated in these darker purples and red. You can kind of see it here. This latest scan comes in at 70 miles an hour. So we're debating, and they just expired the tornado warning. So I was saying they're debating on whether to continue it, but they did expire it. However, that doesn't mean that it couldn't occur yet again. You could possibly maybe see a severe thunderstorm warning because we are still seeing strong winds with this. So what's going on right now is you are going to see the warning drop off the screen. The tornado warning for Fairfield and Pickaway counties has expired. Okay. Now, I say that and I say, yeah, we're going to end the broadcast, but then we might come right back on again as it happened there in Ross County. So, again, the warning has been expired. Okay. They've basically elected it to expire at 2:15. It's still not 2:15 yet. We're about 3 minutes away, but they have just issued a statement saying it is expired. So that's a good thing. They have decided basically to let it expire. They're not seeing what they saw earlier, and they've let it expire. Now, with that being said, I'm going to flip back to velocity. We're still seeing some rotation there. If I look at normalized rotation and things, we're still seeing that it's possible. Okay, but they're not as convinced as they once was at the National Weather Service. So they have let it expire on time. All right. So at the moment, we're all clear with tornado warnings. All right, I'm going to back up and kind of show you what's going on. Since we're not in any tornado warnings, I'm going to kind of put this into motion. Way down here in Hillsboro, you could kind of see it continues, and we had another tornado on the ground, and then here where we're at currently. So historically, and even back in Kentucky, this was dropping tornadoes. We had tornado warnings back in Kentucky. So historically, with this line, we have seen tornadoes. So why I'm playing this for you, I'm going to stop this and go to current. Why I'm playing this for you, if you're out ahead of this, if you're in Fairfield County, if you're in Perry County, if you're in Muskingum County, Licking County, Morgan County, any one of these counties that could potentially be impacted by this line segment, make sure that you have a way to receive warnings overnight tonight. All right. Be prepared. Don't be scared. Be prepared. That's the statement that we're kind of going with now. Make sure that you are prepared. Make sure tonight, if you're going to bed, just make sure you have a way to receive warnings. Do you have a weather radio? Do you have the app on your phone? Do you have, the FEMA app? Do you have the Red Cross app, the Tornado app? Whatever it is, there's plenty of great apps out there that you can put on your phone that will wake you up. Don't rely on the wireless emergency alerts from your cell phone provider. Those sometimes don't work. But definitely get an app on your phone. If you don't have a weather radio, might want to invest in one at some point. I know you can't get one tonight, but invest in one. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive warnings, especially in the middle of the night. Nighttime tornadoes scare me beyond all belief, and I know that they scare all of you. That's why you're watching right now and you're being prepared. So we appreciate that. But definitely make sure that you are prepared and ready to receive warnings. We try to go live on every tornado warning, but if there's ever a technical difficulty and we can't get live, then you need to make sure that you're prepared. Make sure you have a free weather radar app and look at some of the things that we were looking at tonight to try to be prepared. I don't want you to play meteorologist. You can, but we want you to be prepared, and it gives you some indications on what can happen. So, again, make sure that you take the key things that we've discussed over the last hour or so and you become prepared. Again, what do you do in a tornado? Get to the lowest level of your house and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. It's as simple as that. Can you get anything to protect your neck and head? Do you have anything that potentially could protect your neck and head? I know it sounds silly, but a bicycle helmet? Do you have a go kit? Are you ready to go? Are you prepared for the storm? Some people take air horns and things with them to their tornado safe shelter. I know that sounds weird, but if you take an air horn with you and God forbid something happen, how are you going to let first responders know that you're okay? Well, if you have something to make noise, if something were to happen and debris were to fall, you would have a way to make noise. So some people are doing that in their preparedness kits. Make a preparedness kit and plan your safety plan and with your family. That's the stress that I'm kind of saying here, and I'm kind of waiting. If you kind of feeling me out, I'm kind of waiting to see if this storm produces another tornado or another tornado warning. That's why I'm not totally saying goodbye yet, because we're continuing to watch over Tarleton now. We're continuing to watch it strengthen. So again, you're not under a tornado warning, but we're continuing to watch this here as it moves forward. All right. So I kind of had my fireside chat, I guess. I'm starting to be James Spann a little bit, but hey. We're continuing to see what's going on here. All right. I know that there's a lot of questions about sirens, and unfortunately in Ohio, I am so upset. Okay, we have a tornado warning now. Okay. So as soon as I was getting ready to say that, we have a new tornado warning. Okay, here we go. New tornado warning for Fairfield, Ohio, or Fairfield County in Ohio. So here we go yet again. Tornado warning, Fairfield, Ohio. So here it comes. At 2:17, the National Weather Service, you're going to see it pop on your screen here in a minute. At 2:17, the National Weather Service has looked at a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado that's located 9 miles east of Circleville, moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. All right. So as I was just talking about this, and that's why I waited to not go off, because I figured we would be back on in a moment. Again, if you're in Fairfield County, if you're in the city of Lancaster, you need to be in the tornado safe shelter. Okay? This is not for Pickaway County. This is now only for Fairfield County. So let's zoom in here. Let's take a look at what's going on. We have Amanda, we have Lancaster, we have Bremen, we have Sugar Grove. If you're in this area, okay, if you're in Fairfield County, pretty much you need to be in that tornado safe shelter. Okay? So here we go. I'm going to look at the base velocity, kind of show you what's going on here. This is just north of Tarleton. This is the area that we're looking at. Okay, we have a tornado warning again. Sugar Grove, Lancaster, if you're in that area, heads up to you, tornado warning. This is a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. Again, it continues to cycle. We're not saying one's on the ground, but again, it continues to cycle through. So we have, again, this new tornado warning that you're seeing on your screen here that we were continuing to watch. We're watching it together here, and this goes until 2:45 a.m. So again, the National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for southern Fairfield County in central Ohio. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 9 miles east of Circleville, moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. Okay? So we have tornado possible here in southern Ohio. If you're in Lancaster, if you're in Baltimore, if you're in Bremen, if you're in Pleasantville, if you're in Hideaway Hills, Amanda, Stoutsville, Sugar Grove, Fairfield County Airport, U.S. Route 22, at State Route 159, Clearport, North Bern, and Dumontville, you need to be in the tornado safe shelter. Okay? If I did not call your name, you're not under a tornado warning at this point. Okay, so you need to make sure, again, that you're in that tornado safe shelter. Give me 1 second here. All right. So, let's see here. I'm looking at some things here. We're definitely trying to pulsate again. So give me 1 second here, and give me one quick second. I'm not going anywhere. I do need to just get a quick drink as we've been on here, and I didn't even grab anything before we came on the first one. So give me 1 quick second. I'll be right back. Gonna get a quick drink. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be able to continue to talk. So I'll be right back. Again, Fairfield County tornado warning here, and if you're in that area, if you're anywhere in the red box, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter. Again, this tornado warning goes until 2:45. So I'll be right back. All right, I haven't left you. I had to get a drink. I apologize. I had to crack open an ice cold Mountain Dew tonight, so I'm not switched to alcohol just yet. But I'm on Mountain Dew right now. I gotta keep going here through the late evening hours or late morning hours here for you. All right, here we go. Let's look at some stuff for you. So this tornado warning again, if you're just joining us, 2:45. That's what we got going on. Let's flip over and look at some velocity. All right, well, here we go. If you're south of Amanda or you're north of Tarleton, this is where the storm is ongoing that is capable of producing a tornado. So this is where we're at the moment. So again, if you're out ahead of this, you need to seek shelter now. Your time is up. If you're anywhere near Sugar Grove, Lancaster, Bremen, time's up for you. Any other of the cities that I announced just a few minutes ago, time's up. Okay, so you can see here the biggest thing that you just saw on your screen. This has darkened up right now. Okay. What we're seeing here is winds in excess of about 80 miles an hour. Okay. So we're seeing outbound winds about 80 miles an hour. So this is pulsating. It's trying to pulsate, which means it's trying to produce a tornado. So we're looking at something here called correlation coefficient. You may have seen this before on your TV channels. This is debris ball tracker. And what we got going on here now is we're not really seeing any debris at this moment. I know up here in Sugar Grove, but that would be considered an anomaly. So let's look here. Looking at storm relative velocity. Again, it's trying to circulate. It's trying. And here near Amanda, you can see this is normalized rotation right here near Tarleton. This is where it's trying to produce a tornado. Not saying it's on the ground yet, but this storm is capable of producing that tornado. And again, this is a tricky storm. And the reason it's so tricky tonight is because it is very tricky because it continues to do this cycling or this pulsating. The National Weather Service tonight they just can't win. They either issue it, or if they don't issue it, a tornado is pretty much ongoing on the ground. So they're issuing this more on a precautionary measures because this has a history of producing tornadoes. So again, they just can't win tonight for losing here in the National Weather Service. So what we got going on? Excuse me. I'll repeat this once again. I know we got a lot of people joining in, joining out. Some of you are consistent. Some of you must just like to hear the sound of my voice tonight, and I appreciate that as I'm losing it a little bit, but we're getting there. So we have a tornado warning for southern Fairfield County until 2:45. Okay, 2:17. We're continuing to watch this, so we're getting a little bit older on that, but the severe thunderstorm is located about 9 miles east of Circleville, which I would say it's even further now, moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. So definitely still moving at probably about 45 on the latest track that I pulled on it here off screen. So if you're in Lancaster, if you're in Baltimore, if you're in Bremen, if you're in Pleasantville, Hideaway Hills, Amanda, Stoutsville, Sugar Grove, the Fairfield County Airport, if you're on U.S. Route 22 near State Route 159, you're in Clearport, North Bern, and Dumontville, you might want to be in your tornado safe shelter. You're under a tornado warning. Get to the lowest level of your house and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Put as many walls between you and the outside as you can and cover your neck and head. All right. So we're I don't want to say we're in a holding pattern to a point, but we do have this warning. And if you're in Lancaster, one of the things in Lancaster is you can't let your guard down because you're going to see it rain right now, and then it's going to lighten up, and then you're going to get it again, okay? As you can kind of see, this storm cell, if I put this into motion for you, if I back up, I put it into motion, you're going to see, obviously, it's going to lighten up, and it's eventually going to hit you once again on the backside. So you can kind of see it spinning. And where we see that spin, that's where we're seeing the tornadoes tonight. So again, in Lancaster, it may be lightening up right now, but don't let your guard down because back here on the backside, this is coming for you as it's moving northeast. All right. So I'm backing up here just a little bit to kind of give everybody more of a regionalized view. So we're definitely going to miss Columbus. So if you're out ahead of this thing in Perry County, you might want to have definitely a way to receive warnings tonight, as this looks like it's coming for Perry County. The storm cell and this line will eventually reach Muskingum County. Not saying that it's going to have a tornado at that point, but history has shown that it is producing tornadoes as it continues to move forward. We're starting to get some reports in on the backside here now, back in Ross County, of some potential home damage in Ross County. So our thoughts go out to them in Ross County and even Highland County tonight. We definitely seen confirmed tornadoes down there. So definitely something to keep in mind. Keep them in your thoughts and prayers, even people here in Fairfield County, these people that are impacted tonight, because we're starting to see some damage reports come in, and we definitely seen some debris earlier on radar it wouldn't be surprising to see some damage down there. So hopefully, people are safe in that area. All right. So the National Weather Service has just come out with the latest update now, and we're starting to see some damage, maybe near Salem. We're starting to look at that too. So South Salem, back in Ross County, we're starting to see some of that way back here in South Salem. And that's where we definitely seen a debris ball. But they just trimmed back the warning here. So the newest and updated warning at 2:27, the National Weather Service is continuing to indicate a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Lancaster, moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. Radar indicated rotation. Again, you need to make sure you get to the lowest level of your house. Their words say flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed, so make sure that you get out of those. If you're in Lancaster, Baltimore, Bremen, Pleasantville, Hideaway Hills, Amanda, Sugar Grove, Fairfield County Airport, Clearport, U.S. Route 22, near State Route 159, North Bern, and Dumontville, take shelter. All right, so that's what we got going on. That's the latest update that they've come out with. And again, this goes until 2:45 a.m., so make sure that you're seeking shelter. All right. I know some of you are commenting about tornado sirens. To be very honest with you, they're outdoor warning sirens, so if you're indoors, you're probably not going to hear them. You're not supposed to hear them indoors. If you're outside, hey, you might hear them, I guess. But bottom line is, don't rely on the sirens. Get a way to receive warnings. We kind of preach that with everything. Not harping at you, but yeah, don't rely on those sirens because you got to remember a couple things. First of all, they're operated manually, so somebody's got to flip the switch, and or a mechanical failure. So don't rely on it. Have multiple ways to receive warnings. So right now we're in Fairfield County, so we're in Lancaster. Chillicothe, you're in the clear now. You don't have a warning. We don't see anything really for the rest of the night for you. So you're in the all clear in that area. If you're out ahead of this, if you're in Perry County or Muskingum County, definitely need to keep your guard up tonight. If you're in Newark, I can't totally say you're in the clear tonight. You're going to see some wind and you're going to see some strong rain coming in your area too. And depending on where you're at in Newark, if this decides to take a more northerly turn, you could be in the path. So I can't say that you're in the all clear tonight at this point. Luckily I haven't heard too much coming out of Circleville, and I kind of in a holding pattern here again because we're in the same state that we've been in as if you've been watching here throughout the duration here of the last hour or so. We're kind of in the same holding pattern yet again because we're not really seeing much on radar, but again it continues to pulsate. Let's take a look here. So looking here at Lancaster, you kind of see right now we have some strong winds, but we're not seeing the rotation as we once was. So that's a good sign. But again, this storm is capable of producing a tornado. So that's the most important thing that you got to remember here. You still need to, because the National Weather Service still has the warning up, you definitely need to be in the tornado safe shelter. All right. And as I was talking about a little bit earlier, before we got the new warning, is sirens are unreliable to a point because, first of all, in Ohio, there is no standardization in sirens. So one siren in your community can mean something else in another county or another city. It depends. Some cities, some counties issue all clear. So you could be hearing the siren for all clear, or you visit the siren for the warning. So that's the problem that we're seeing with sirens across Ohio. There's no standard. So if you are hearing the all clear and you're thinking you got to take shelter or vice versa, that's an issue. So don't rely on the sirens. They're meant to be outdoor warning sirens. They're not meant to be indoor warning sirens. Don't rely on them in the middle of the night to get you out of bed because they're not going to. All right? They're outdoor warning sirens. They're not rated to penetrate through walls, okay? That flat out, I'm involved in a lot of emergency management stuff, and they're not meant to do that. And then the radius of the siren is another thing. And if the wind's blowing in the wrong direction, you might not be able to hear them. So make sure that you get that app or get an app. There's plenty of free apps out there. I recommend the FEMA app or the Red Cross app. They're fantastic. They'll wake you up. And make sure that you have multiple ways to receive warnings as well. So I kind of that's what I was trying to get to before this new warning was issued. I was trying to tell you guys that. And in Ohio, it's very sad. Okay, it's very sad that we don't have some sort of standardization across all of Ohio saying yes, if you hear the warning, take action. But in some cases, if you hear the siren, it might be an all clear. So, or in some communities, if you hear the siren, it could be lunchtime. I'm not saying right now, but you definitely could see that across across the counties in Ohio. So we're kind of, we don't have consistency there. All right. So again, if you're in the tornado polygon, you need to seek shelter. Okay. If you're in Lancaster, if you're in Bremen, Sugar Grove, take shelter. Okay. Right now, what we got going on? Let's take a look here at base velocity. See what's going on. It's just now past. It's now past Amanda. That will be trimmed out here shortly. I'm assuming that you're going to be trimmed out here on the next update, or it's just going to expire altogether. But Amanda, pretty much, I would say you're now in the all clear. Although you're still under the tornado warning, so maybe a good idea just to remain in your tornado safe shelter just for a little bit longer and wait for the warning. You only got about 10 more minutes on this warning anyway, and we'll let you know if they trim this back just a little bit. So if you're in Lancaster, if you're in Sugar Grove, the area that we would continue to watch where there would be a potential tornado is just north of Sugar Grove now, just south of Lancaster. So right in this area is where we are watching. So if you're in Bremen, heads up to you. This is heading towards your direction if they continue to keep the tornado warning going. So right now, again, this tornado warning goes until 2:45, so we got about another 10 minutes on this. We're kind of waiting for the next update. And if you've been watching all along, we're seeing either they cancel it early or they let it expire on time. So there hasn't been an update on this one for a little bit. So we're kind of waiting to see. It's been a good 7 or 8 minutes now. We're kind of waiting to see what they're going to do because they're at a decision point yet again, which means are we going to continue the tornado warning or are we going to let it expire on time? So that's where we're kind of at right now. So again, if you're in this area, if you're in Lancaster, Sugar Grove, make sure that you're seeking shelter. If you're at the Fairfield County Airport, you definitely need to be seeking shelter. Clearport and right there at State Route 159 and 22 or State Route 22 near North Bern, you need to be in your tornado safe shelter as well at this time. Get down to the lowest level of your house and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Hopefully you have a preparedness kit. If you don't, might want to make one at some point. But remember to take some things with you that you might potentially need. Get a bicycle helmet. Get whatever you need, all right, to keep yourself safe if you're in this particular storm path and this particular tornado warning. All right, so I'm gonna kind of zoom out. One of the things we're getting to the edge of the radar site, so eventually we're gonna have to flip. I kind of zoom out. We're seeing a lot of purple here, so eventually we're gonna have to flip over, and I can't go to Columbus, but on this software. But eventually we're gonna have to flip over and see what happens. We're getting ready to cross some county warning areas too. So if you're in Perry, we'll have to kind of wait and see what's going on here in just a moment. All right, one more second here. Yeah, we're really going to have to wait and see. We're kind of really at that turning point. Again, if you're in that polygon, you're still under the warning, but not seeing it very clearly as we once were. So let's see. I'm looking at something here. And here we go. The Ward tornado. Okay, so there is starting to be some storm reports now. This is storm reports coming in out of Ross County. So we're starting to see that storm reports coming out of there. Give me 1 second. I apologize. I'm calling up something on my little computer here. Got several screens going on. Oh man, I can't see that. Let's see. Give me 1 second here. All right. So what we got going on here. So what we're looking at is we're on the border here, and it just depends. So we're getting ready to get to the edge of the radar site. I'm going to flip over to Charleston here in a minute. But what we got going on? So Perry County, if you're in Perry County, you're covered by the National Weather Service in Charleston, okay? And if you're in Muskegon County, you're covered by Pittsburgh. So we're getting ready to get out of the Wilmington area. So Fairfield County, Licking County is in the Wilmington office area. So this is getting ready to switch offices. So if you're out ahead of this is also where some decisions got to be made. We're right on the edge of the border of the warning offices. So National Weather Service out of Wilmington covers Fairfield County, but over here in in Perry County, they do not cover. That is the National Weather Service in Charleston. So it's kind of some communication going on the backside. What's going to happen here? Is Charleston going to elect to issue a tornado warning out ahead of this or not? That's kind of the question of the day here that we're going to have to look at. I'm going to flip radar sites. So give me 1 second. We're going to kind of see what we got going on. And we do have another, They did continue the tornado warning, so they're electing to continue this until 2:45. Okay, so this particular radar site is very messy. So we're right between 3 radar sites. I'm going to try to get the best one and see what wins here. Give me 1 second. Not the greatest. If I can pull up at least reflectivity here, that's the problem. I can't at a terminal. Let me see if I can pop reflectivity. Yeah, that's not very good. All right, so I still need to stick with Wilmington, so I'm going to flip back to Wilmington. Give me 1 second here. All right, let's get back here to Wilmington. That still gives me the best shot. All right, so what we're looking at here, again, they elected to keep the warning going. So if you're in Amanda, you've been trimmed out of the warning. So if you're in the city of Amanda, they trimmed you out of this. The latest update on the National Weather Service says 2:38, so a minute ago, the National Weather Service is still tracking a storm capable of producing a tornado located near Lancaster, moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. So if you're in Lancaster, Baltimore, Bremen, Pleasantville, Hideaway Hills, Sugar Grove, Fairfield County Airport, North Bern, and Dumontville, you need to be in your tornado-safe shelter. Again, get to the lowest level of your house. So again, we're continuing to watch this storm. We're continuing to look ahead here. What's going to happen in Perry County? We don't know yet. Okay, right now there's not really a good sign of tornado activity. Down here we're looking at some stuff potentially that we're starting to see. We'll have to continue to keep a closer eye on that. Maybe that was just a bad scan. But we're not, if we look at this screen here, this is normalized rotation. We're not seeing the green on radar. You can see some greens up here. Usually we'll see a green and a blue. It indicates normalized rotation for layman's terms. We're not seeing that. So that's a good sign. That's a very good sign. So hopefully that this warning will not continue on into Perry County. So as I mentioned before, the problem is there's not a problem, but the National Weather Service out of Wilmington has been calling the warnings, and in Perry County, that's the National Weather Service out of Charleston. So we're waiting to see what Charleston National Weather Service is deciding to do at this point. We're kind of in a holding pattern. We have about 5 minutes left on this warning. Okay, so we have about 5 minutes left on this warning in the city of Lancaster and Fairfield County. We are starting to see some damage reports come in, and I know why we're waiting here. And again, some of you are talking about sirens in Lancaster. They could also, that's another thing, in some cities, they turn on the sirens every 5 minutes. So again, it gets confusing. So I would just totally ignore those. If you hear them, you need to take shelter, take action. Outdoor warning sirens mean what it means is actually in many counties and communities is to seek local media to find out what's going on. So what they got going on, we have some thunderstorm damage that's coming in near Greenfield. So we have a local storm report that's been issued by the National Weather Service 5 miles east-southeast of Greenfield in Ross County. We have thunderstorm damage, several residential structures damaged along Stewart Street near Main Street in South Salem. Widespread tree damage in the area, probable tornado. That's words right on a local storm report. That's coming in out of the Ross County area when we were seeing that tornado earlier. that was on the ground. So we're starting to see some damage reports coming in out of Ross County. So we're waiting here kind of in a holding pattern to see if, again, this is going to cycle. Right now, it's kind of definitely not cycling, which is a good sign. It's starting to weaken just a little bit. But again, we're getting to the edge of the radar site as well, and we're kind of getting into, unfortunately, we're getting into what's known as the radar dead zone, which doesn't give us a clear picture of what's going on. So as we continue to kind of look at this here, we're only about 2 minutes away here from the warning being allowed to expire. So as we continue to almost wrap up at this point, again, you're still under the warning if you are seeing that. The warning is now expired. They just let that expire, 2:43. The warning is now expired, so we're not under any warning now. You'll see it drop off your screen here in just a second. So the tornado warning again for Fairfield County has been allowed to expire. You'll see that drop off your screen. So we're no longer under a tornado warning. They're going to continue to monitor, and they're going to continue to monitor the storm. We're not planning on extending this tornado warning. That's what the National Weather is saying. We're expiring it. The current warning we're going to continue to monitor. So what they've said here is they're going to continue to monitor, but the warning has officially been allowed to expire. I know it's still on your screen, but it's expired. There it goes. It drops off your screen right now. So it is expired. So that's a very good sign for you in Fairfield County. So nevertheless, though, as you look out, if you're in Perry County, if you're in Muskegum County, okay, it pretty much looks like it's going to stay south of Licking County. It may clip the extreme southeast portion of Licking County, but it looks like pretty much Newark, you'll be out of this, hopefully. But if you're in those areas, if you're in Muskegum County, you're in Perry County, maybe portions of Morgan County, you need to make sure that you have a way to receive warnings tonight. So you need to make sure that you continue to have a way to receive warnings if you're out ahead of the storm and you're watching. I'll zoom out a little bit, kind of show you what we got going on. Even if you're out in the Zanesville area, definitely need to have a way to receive warnings tonight. So get the app, get a weather radio. I know you probably, maybe if you don't have one, but get an app. You got the FEMA app, you got the Red Cross app, great apps to download that will keep you updated with tornado warnings. Don't rely on the ones from the carrier from your cell phone service. They don't always work. All right, don't rely on the outdoor warning sirens. They're outdoor warning sirens. You want to have a way to receive warnings in the middle of the night. And we like to say multiple ways to receive warnings. So make sure that you continue to heed that advice. And again, don't be scared, be prepared, as we always are calling it. All right. So again, they're going to continue to watch this storm right now. So again, we're looking right here in the Bremen area. We're continuing to watch this area very closely. Historically, it has cycled. The good thing is over this Fairfield County warning, it doesn't look like we have seen anything on the ground. You may have had some very strong winds, but it doesn't look like anything that got on the ground, which is great, and great news for you there in Fairfield County. However, we are starting to see damage reports back in Ross County and possibly Highland County. So, keep them in your thoughts tonight. Keep them in your prayers. There is some damage that's coming in, and some of it doesn't look the greatest for some structural damage there. So make sure you say a little extra prayer for them tonight. Keep them in your thoughts and your prayers as you head to bed. And again, make sure you have a way to receive warnings tonight. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this up. I've been on here for probably about almost 3 hours with the multiple live videos. But we're going to wrap this session up, and we are here. We're continuing to monitor. Our team is here. We have 3 forecasters on overnight, so we're continuing to watch this for you. And if there is something that warrants us to come back live, we will, like a tornado warning. So again, make sure you have a way to receive warnings overnight tonight, and make sure that you keep it tuned here or your favorite local media, and make sure you stay prepared. All right. So again, I want to thank you for joining me. My name is Owen Fritz. I'm one of the severe weather analysts here at the Bell Park Weather and Bell Park Media. Again, we're here. We're on call all night tonight, so we're watching things. We're keeping you ahead. We're going to get you through this storm safely as we can, as it continues to push off into the Mid-Ohio Valley. So nevertheless, if you're out ahead of this thing, again, make sure you have a way to receive warnings, and we will come back to you here live as needed.